Madama lungil total morarbe klaad kadalotal marmaril along edelurior mertel hotel press conference rigid el arralo bangela tangkal president rigid surang albibs junior ma bodoy tira yung lel morngi melom ula press conference rigid mo subes ngartelo bangeda pastor Jacob Mirablos Paul other city al press conference rigid el tutaw
kabodolulu Edao el rubak al Dios el ngarayang de lola babek el klisi erayang de ma utam rubak mrenga sulem ra el altu tau emal mrenga sulem ra labogol sil sel gamas kamam dirigir rubak mal mrenga sulem ra asil sama ul ayol tel kimospe emal mrenga sulem rubak tigal ngara leadership el kalibre el altu tau el girel al first el conference yak mo le rubak al other seal mergaw merenga sulem ra tangak el president ma vice kirgal ministers omrang rubak al kmula set kaldib el masada tgo el girela belumam yak merenga sulem leta acknowledge lo segaw a Dios ngel everywhere all knowing all powerful God magulingit rubak al lom sereng el kirir mong tigay gertir lo baloms Mongotiga gertilo badal madem gamangario reng. Ruba ke direk al mereng asulem el tutau makmolo terga kli tial meeting tial conference olingit malam sem bolong tiga gertira olel el morable bangalel agel ger el logera adra media ma insers el bolngai ma gel mo ogora de hal blatak like pray God that you will ramrul trar adal mo understand ma gel togo el top del mera public also birar ade ruba gal mo understanding akmal di merenga sulem im oli tergau mo odor diri tial meeting el morawla bangalel ay kayang lungu amal gi moling ital ngarang klem amen
mal paise malungil tutaw mal song tel orang sulem pastor Mirablos ara lunguem of course amat amne teme der sera gotlorio mem gada
waise
share devotional كده عمل غلطات البلوغ غمرة له كده غمرة ديوس دي كنت تلتقل بو سوسراي بدول ماركلاي ماربوغول بيلاو بريزيدنت سنة الحقونس باولس ماربوغول سيناتورس سبيكر اناستاشا ماربوغول ديليجيتس تشيف جاستيس نيراي غلاو ماربوغول جاستيسز governors speakers ماربك الادر بيلاو مارلي تورسل غارا بلور غايا المور هوتشاريجي ماري كلا بلور بيلاو el tutto direga al malungil total le orgomia adra media mal marmod le gom artia malungil total Mr. Gasole Mr. Clay ma direga al Mr. Uludon gadang artia lo bangela vice president ma members cabinet ngaretia Minister Udui Minister Obiang Minister Victor Minister Erbalau Minister Tmaturo Minister Jenkins direga lo bangela Attorney General ma Director Tax mang matoka mo swadre al tutao esogal mo make sure ang nakamo ngara le lang ako ding arteng MC emro sutel uriol moral bekla make sure to na atendin musese Maria silent mode li غطرولن مال لونيل بس الرجل مرة بكلا در بلاوي مال تمارود النار بلاوي تمارود راسين كنا عمرك يا هاليديس قدام دين راسين ملتوقع غريورة ديرك الملاسور غريور مليوكرا بالادر تيجال الغريم غمادر إسرائيل of course Ukraine دي هذيم لسوق الشريعة واسه أوه مستر إيرمان هذا ملدي بوس أوه será a Christmas and New Year. One of the most important things spending time with family. Mal meringa sula Dios o kusel de legal de se spend that time logela da ma dalaga ma turunga la grama over the holidays. Tira di sogal mo sharing. Será gerder belara Tuesday ramutu tau Wednesday morning adama kama mlo ila alid mlora hospital immediately. Sogal di mereka suler other hospital. You know, beberapa time kada mal di omet awet ter hospital Mr. Uludong dia luka mereka suler amring lurer. So elira 5 o'clock akmlol labila damage en wasem ko kuran sogal mora morme. Mawadim le del bar de Minister Erbala yak mura doctor lalo asenga berenga kora di escape mung mura bulu eme mala ibira tu taum di maral merenga sular other hospital maral know their care nga amne pneumonia after 1 week he's strong and he's back you know abibira time and de kadora swara sel regle la urere adra hospital urur 24 hours el gira and this sogal mo tisigida sing when you're there for the past week, which I have been, I understand that auror ma barrer de auror. I sem toca auror lorula ministerial malasmal improve hospital get Spain. I just wanna bring us to toktang mar nurse and other hospital bring lorere. And most importantly, I hope holidays are glad I'm not spend time with family, and that's what should be most important. And of course. Start the new year and CC is strong. So, melal domule paik kotrule uka nila sing na mereka tarak rad implement tax reform. Ingara igel program sergi del gida implement. Yak nila sel gotel soal al toya Mr. Uludong PGST. Oise sel tax reform part 3 of course, I'm broad-based, and I think one of the things that identifying as a PGST for the last year collected 17 million. The so called clear sale was 17 million. The central country was saying 17 million. Replace GRT, import tax. The finance estimating was 15 million collecting. So it's a replacement. Mang kuradi peak lasing murto the sale lasing 17 million rather will be look mulgayang laudo lasing 17 million best ludod, but that's technically not true. Mgadawadi gadan make sure got clear fact, but so kalmatel by sa minister udoy ma dirigal elway mal bol sada I get programs either tax reform and what ngarakat albang next few months.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning, everyone, Vice President, my fellow ministers, the Attorney General, and Director Elway. Director Elway and myself are here to discuss what's the next upcoming event that I think the public should be aware of. And in particular, next month we will be distributing the tax refunds that are called for in the new tax reform. So I wanted to give the public some additional details at this opportunity, and Director Elway and the tax office will continue to inform the public and prepare you for that event that should happen next month, in the middle of the month.
So langi minister malungil total mora president ma cabinet marbek latong artiang mo mer adra media to wetsel morar atlo rings qoram la startel lomo al masad al wasi obisir gidra taxer lam gotmo qoringin mo ulto daigel refund and yam le partnersel comprehensive tax reform el mo gel mo lu tagel taxel bil haro trigel other belaw lowrior sura 15,000 المالوبل يمكن غير 15,000 so ديال دي مو تكلي قرام لا ما دورا other blowing ديال شادلو مو تقل وسيسل tax refund سيجي ال 15,000 مريو التاكس سيل هارار نيرا salary tax سيل ديدكتر نيرا paycheck غتير سيل لوريور يمي هارار ني سيجي ديال tax about the refund رنيل automatically مغذاني واسيا نغنيا نغراليلا روبيكال employers الفايل withholding statement تيجي W2 or other مسيد لول سي اوتو ذا refund لتو سيجي ديال tax البلال ناي اي جاي ديا دولاب os pega gida the refund mang waigel blal nga minister kado mesra February di mok medra ole la February egidia kado di kambas kado di ka arrange ra basyo mang so that the finalize egida wise hindi kita taytang segida February gida lam kat mok kulwase dia gida basyo matam o medim di me tekle mangarnya kado mesel wase sel me trige gida sebirel trige gida other way lol mamlar se refund sel me tamal di me mesa formal la prefilled the verify information esa en wa refund la of course ngarnya te alal dispute amount ay regular ngambes el part la charter un regular part la tax el wase ngarnya lemetel adang dispute ngi dilo ura tax megagida gida del make sure ngarngi digir el suado dir lo espera te alle o maklat kal wase ay gel dimna refund ra au ay gel dung akplol vai sur lo espera to lo hacen tax credits el donation el morgel eligible non profit ma tuition credits at sumara school ang game ay game malamol merel ara hindi godom tablo wasi trigel mangusel arang la taxir el trigel other belal mamanar sel tax refund le 15,000 merio langul terrogil tax mang kodam taw sen di kalseb el mornga additional leng tumlang terrogil endi trigel ko tiakal eligible say amalmol mal seb el applier say gidel refund im laptop da form in direk lo sil time ya do maklat car employer so la say make sure W2 role employees are filed the liner nya January 1st el ngarala mangarnya balsela la do directly mending say gidel W2 about the bodul tuingi issue a refund mang diswa dal gwadio maklat car employers gida malmol ngaral metob de lo aisa malbornya vessel update en toba da vessel update so lang
Sula director elway koradi ngul shift el mora tola tourism you know one of the things this wala highlight ni misrakla amno ya legal mora Australia cost yamna private trip and diga damra blue Australia atara the silubia blue Australia se tara blue gel average el tourist el other Australia sel tobra tourist and one of the highest spenders so important el magit el gida promote ni magmal mrenga sulela blue Australia we started till flight air New Guinea so it's been running for the past year of course it tiram like continuous funding continue in March that they subsidize it there al skogi and hopefully beyond because we want Air New Guinea direct most expand the service in more shaban mamlaya tele dangar al flight sira dangar blura Sydney I took time el direct no join rakora tourism promotion el direct Australian government am arranging ni material travel writers and material tour agent tersel bulu trial entice more tourism from that I think last year over 1,000 tourists am Australia mera blue velo so it's a growing market we want to encourage it among MLC direct qadi doli selo ase kide kadamo of island ding deng wargida degal se del oitim dio magida rabek kaltam umbral dega ading arse di wadang artiang work never stops but go to trela dolmol mal malisi era tokora klagang godang baiso kalunga te alun sa minister human resource tourism culture and development mo update rigidra yelo highlights era tokora tourist ma direct la drawra la rage minister gabo minister tutul
Sula presidente malungi tutal mora ada media mar vehicle other belau adomes o urela kadana hitra almost halfway el morsel pre-COVID numbers makadam lo endra December with 41,227 tourists tamler belau akkorang usagid lo ul mati eba yol ngitra director kadoy mong mertia mong mata cycle ko rauriol do rule Michael Cook Thomas el mamururel almaran mo
Ay manong tutay. Happy New Year, President, mga Vice President, Tagarol Cabinet Members, mga other media. Sula Minister Matul, kamla smadegel o urgit. Manungil year, 2023. Ibal di porsegid, at si Claudio Ramirael. Sula nga President Rigid, ang losabel morsegid, ora event, organize rin Australian Embassy, Mesel Representative Office ra PBL nga ra Australia GTI manewil event sige nga kita present no mention sa Skogi Malmo March 2024 ma PBA ma GTI nalmutal executor agreement mo represent mo March 2024 malnewila event malclo momentum, so we gotta keep it going. With that, lamo 3 times el gimo the 3 farm groups ra Australia May. Sera November mlaringia ngel Ute Junker nge independent travel writer emlay no sab el ngarbelat med 14 days ultimo dia malungil arigal ra traveler el Palau amne one ra top destinations for Australian travelers. Sige article tilo el al sera December Direk mlaniya Dive Planet, direka 5 tour operators from Australia, direka officer gida ne hoster tir. So mlamoring ya dive trips in mera March, by April mat mera el 2024 because we get the farm groups. Direk mlaniya sige feature a magazine nga scuba diving magazine, direk mlosab ilu kotobdira blur Australia. So malcloriol maral el mrula media events Australia sustain at Skogi. Gityalun mes over 1,000 tourists na Australia may because of Air New Guinea. Air Nauru direk am start magidirek am nani event rigim ko ra kit maklilo ban trip. We're doing a lot of media coverage lobang gala Air Nauru. Siya digam start mong numbers steadily rising up ngara Nauru maran may. Direk sera December no so amal mo Hong Kong. Lo promote Belar Sil Diving Research and Travel Expo. Se pre-COVID agi ulmay sil ngari im salbornya COVID ng kukwam ne stop ndi adomes na start tegel charter flight so obisir gida amlon el guk mo manage sel expectation o awareness ra Hong Kong market. Lo sabela kung balir bela lo bang mama Palau Vacation Hotel sel free dive Palau mani sel bes Skogin mo flara February el al year el Cambodia Anchor Sky. Sige na ni sa El Choy na Rabela ng Arabut. It's going to start in February with 3 regular flights. Kaya hindi kami ngir sel schedule at sel to din sa amal sharing. Iregal el January imlaniya farm tour gidi blem host ni Tamirara kasus. Tira other divergent travelers. Tira ani akong balir til direk promote farm groups makora FIT travel tamler bela sera January 4 mirara kasus so amlop the train more albab mababal dab experience egal local tour sergit egal ali pass direk sumal taman impressed ra culture git tial diving destination rigit Tetirik mo mo plan bring in groups ra June maral mo July. Tetirik nga ni opportunity ra mamel ne mitra ardil Susan Barry nga dire ardil Australia. Interested mo mrura ko ra farm trips el coordinator bangila bela megal baby ra blura Micronesia. Se dire sa edrobal ora olngas ra other still Air Nauru se mura marshals mabulabe merbela. So we're doing like across Micronesia region marketing. Dimlegagi ta ko international real gimorul ya ko tigera community ngani gel 6th state office ra PBA mo ra bantrin revitalize egel ko tourism infrastructure sa tir ma sites sa tir dimlegagi the minister motula wa re re lang unsuna
Minister msula katoy regal uk update sa gidra tokora tourism di sogal ukka di share regal uk aisra post office rigi kida am dayna se regal uk initiative dorul trial uk improve post office rigi wasada mo menciona qalday voting Namria tamla issue a certificate el mora ABS el Commercial Mail Receiving Agency. Itia ngaria post office ending si ngaria private kumbali indi tir provide a mailing service. Mang kadamla license ni mase mo start operational at least that's something look help pergi dagi dam dim dinge look limitations sa post office gid mga no service look private kumbali mo operate ni. Diregal kidam dinge sa sell once a week emlani sell basing flat rate packs. Is el flat rate packs el doldo krima blam ring is 71% lower than igal rest amail. Sedimle once a week el doruri. Ela postmaster esa se namo sell every day. El namo flight every day. El moram rigel semo namo every day ya del monge apply se el flat rate packs. Es el last gora pes raisa sell el gidam de se na yon tiden mo olvida kulula se me para box. El Melboria extra el box post office Melboria box هذا olbila mledi 9 من قدم لام ليا email box. So ela tel email box mo semen apply a email box, so instead of having a physical box you will get notice como apply a mailbox and then you get notice through email. Lo hacen area you've got mail. And then kamara post office at more arbal mo nemaskaw. So kado cospera digital technology but still provide the same service. So we have to be creative and find ways to help our okyari the mang kado na mesa limitation or a physical box mela kado mora e-box. And so mo you assign the number but technically it's an e-box. And the so kada menenga sula postmaster ma ukureril come up with innovative ways to help our okyari the kama se limited mailbox rin. So lastly al sebele dik ministry health te kalsam ko mo sesel gire la US Mercy mo ka activity ra ministry health and then
so lang president tamal tutan mo ra bekla really quickly since kamla mention Mercy ida mating ra sesel USNS Mercy a part ra Pacific Partnership 24 set klol dial hospital amlera over the holidays. Ay final numbers ra aguk tetele la guru lama services will provide mera other bela amle end up lania total of 80 bot surgeries, 132 medical engagements, a total of 1,802 dental procedures, 1,419 prescription glasses. Ito ko ra amat 1,442 sunglass amal mering lasil sa president direct ko leklo aong itra sunglass. So an excel step gimamayan numbers kita madengil sa hospital ani SLBS electronic medical record system magimo may gigid rokul deiral me omes losing malwangrang a services el dos based sa legal malbuto numbers ra especially agurura math optometry dental may directly gigid surgeries niga direct help pergi del plan lo sa gukto mesa services sa hospital ng tuire gigid lo ureng ra gid del alguk adjust mo atera needs ra community ngel guk madadar sa gid el planning team ra Pacific Fleet ra gukto ra medical mera next week magi guk modong October 3 direct guk masada possible activity ra igan maral milrakal gukto ra medical engagements. Kura dagim salsure el time la sing ngoingran sa elto da kura full report regalo and the geuro material other Department of Defense el gidel say. Real quickly akmle promise statistics kaya maran dirga ka published sel amo Friday agyo to bidilo bangela kura graphics and the preliminary numbers ra 2023 183 roll births 176 al godal. So ang kurat talgib guk nalmutel flip among let talgib klo roll ra godal gigi the numbers sa moto del morgamir el al week directly include agel top causes of death ra 2023. So talgib lungin la oura compared to 2022 hindi still mal ora klo abriol gida del makli. Lastly sel agel maklol project ra hospital le worth ra 4 million, little over 4 million, and including ra sel 2 million in the appropriation ra ulbi specifically for repairs. To agel urior lo bangela Director Brian Malayre ra Public Works el marula bidra agel mo replace ra chiller ma water treatment system ma ado ma yeroguya mo umu laudio ngira as early as next month. So the director ngitra coloring ra adra abulul mera hospital was mo clauriol el marara gal meral mel tel al buil maldido reng sa qura sub del gira la toqora construction ra work ra hospital. Last takti meringa sulit tirigel mle assister gamamra Eli agilu per breakfast al tim le adra held ministerial held and St. Joseph Church Choir masel Couples for Christ group ma direct tirigel rogul el guk employees rigid el adra ngod el blue adra Fiji ma igal bekal bla mas amel gut makli sa igid makti ngun murse ngania questions in sedel answer of sulang.
dik material quradi hoiso sel Pacific Partnership material US NS Mercy ran berbela o imlaria tokora held lulu lendin dirigal ari other activities of course abandam lartiang til teklia aira gotet hoise oi di luma madang wil bulum di dirigal no sabril conduct workshops seluk Coast Guard, el girela bowling, tokora earth. Dirigam na sports tournaments, muna 3-on-3 basketball. Dirigam na medical conference, masel HADR workshop, masel human assistance, disaster relief workshop. Legal conductor na PRR advice, masel. Dirigal na uka igel uknesora tokora engineering and kiat team mirula kakarusel project lu kon ngasera tokora belum kada mal meringa sulir sel partnership lam gila blura brigele te yet tiro der bela mora aruk tamal look forward raseng ngara tel mutel berbela dakhtul mo se ngaraw de sul girel tian next lo mora landi andi kada mal meringa sulir leng de kadil sel partnership sel almaq da sen dim lo se kada blu adire klolo da li tira gezer ablur belawm gadam renga sulara dram rigel mal sera como dora colina qase msende gele cruise ship gmil ma sa ai gaw de la urior ndi gadam de sa gal mega triga me dirigal giren mara blu من dirigal ngari adi almut tarak lol dial mera february sel dial Blue Ridge se tal tela merul dar tela da ngaring no tangar tela imak le same se da dirigal mercy am le with the dart so just to give you an idea kada se presence is deterrence and then dirigal se lemeng global itira blum kada menga sulir lastly di sokol qadi motachri sulang Mr. Sole gora tiabelam le uko aisro se last year employment amle ngilse ekra 16 saying almost 17% and that's a sign of the economy is coming back one of the reasons why social security are suffering a deficit of about 13 million a year ang song sar adlo urior so we need to get them back in the workforce and to contribute to girala atagora contribute more a tax system rigid adi so almut dirigal highlight niya kadam kadatan masadri minimum wage dirigal umra lo assessed increase ra minimum wage and dirigal lo manura SS dirigal help rigid so hopefully motim CCISS muksya dal mo das will increase a benefit ra retirees and that's we know lo aseng bring na ng okra dirigal deal ra adlo urior mar retirees I think one of the things that dirigal highlight niya kadamrenga suleradro albil amlosa ilo tobda udo this year take care of the government the national government and state government to make sure that tirrogui whether go state government malubo go national government as of October 1st they get state government sangila enough ludo they'll make sure every employee gets a 75 cents increase or $60 a payday additional to the $60 they got before. Masemal will toy mal maruda elia ureng sa house ukmle introduce ra dekal introduce pas ra different bill el podemos setting inu el bill ra senate el wase minimum wage agir el mas el mo 650 el kung mesra house tuk na tade imol kung 854 anyway dito lo ring Mr. Casola ase kadamde ase klo albu rabelu. What we need to be able to do is work together to come up with solutions. Help ra adrablu. Oise, egi da tara treta el dogi ungi, help ra adrablu. That's democracy at work. Mal continue la adadu el siga solution ng initial real el siya niya ono ser adrablu. Man si il matmok la clear, il kadam na se mring la adran okrablu vela. Waigel program ra uklorura tax refund these are all ways el gidat mage no ser adra blue regel ya ranganela dan okrel al time unfortunately gida dega control gida Putin maybe mo sen seven mora mesa Putin askini wase mom stop kian magamada kada mal bulan but anyway step by step lastly edikwate al congratulate rabala modake school this week we will celebrate 50 years. Ngoni sel togobet sel anniversary tir Friday. Baktiri kan mamadar arbek rada sebong diri kan contribute to mortal school el schoolet. El cloud tutorial school el milisi rakli bela ma atletela dar bela gidam da se ala kay giden kadam kara adar bela. Kadam ra el maringa sulir striel el mil eli aurior se tigel el gilisi aido. Milingis raido, especially ngel chairman walel telurior ngiro obatang sa alboy siral al ngima al dabel boldak reli el uliti alurior git telo mesar el igal mla momre gal ngima rak el gida arder tigel togol adel mla mor tel school mla togol ma da continue milisi aurerir da ngaseur tir tel anniversary dirigal da congratulate trial best governors ma leitors ra blura amalgayo mangaram lungoy governor Paloy ma of course governor Ilolang Ramasaw Francis Ilolang Ramasaw Volt ara re-election tir ma swearing in til morir la ngaram lungoy la longayo alurior malgayo a Friday so diktu yegi de bike open aula la ligire la ger mangin kaman sura
un total president, vice president, arbitral ministers, ma attorney general, ma director. Un total. A question nga mo director Elway. So ako adi curious to know. Elwaseng aday tayeng kom la expectra telal adra government el bom dispusa check el mortigel 15,000 el medio. Okay, open gel siya say Daitang wangarak lunga ludo dal amot top der say kita time. Sulak.
Man sulara gire Mr. Osole dimnak katmuklo ba bingil ang government ma private sector endik madingil wasi o sel overall lo ura de cordir gomes ra 3,000 little over 3,000 al ese dia kadil dul wasing based calculation hindi kadil dirigal amle tat ngarba early rate and it na meal start to lower dirige ar markil dirigal so is ngi grinding dirigal contribute more overall number as to amount algoritmly rough estimate nga about 2 million
kumsulang direct question ng almora tourism president ako ramay mention director PVA director ko ramay mention luwaseng sel air New Guinea ako ram el arag ang amna nga taltela lar okay kan ngi ko visual mo dangil wase do you may gagi marketing efforts kami ngani ako ra projection wase el algo krakal 2024 ng amo nga knowing wase kadal lumutal amo askal extender tial silwal mereka tunit March kadal amo extender gi.
Ang sana lang will question kambes hindi ka projection sige bolam dikpalo ais. Sabi ka ma-minister mitra wan rardil emle obligation belaw. Nga dire ka lawra lam 3 baby tour operators. So for the month of May, di ta trill group salop the trill May. Each group pangaradori lahat. So egal effort loring a president may galoro la minister mo obviously gida ang anya malcol impact ring. So we have the dive acknowledgement saying sel dive planet. They're bringing in groups of divers up to 15. Minsa edal kung se el January mo March numbers among arba al till previous year. As far as projections, they said project the extension of 3 months. Hopefully within the 3 months, kada magiging mo win sa ilmutal extend. So lang.
Sulay PVA managing director. The question ng almora Minister of Health. So mal interesting ang minister lang ay gigil figures mo to ba to? Ay gil guru mo lora amada mam lora dental. Wasn't la Ministry of Health or mese maybe kada a focus lang kasi kung kara mo provide enhance improve a service mo o sa miulo tukura wai sige dito la augurula siya mo kara elaborate on your point.
Ay say takal kakada lurio re kambes ngira tal mo omes lo sing ngaral service wangara tao ra service provide. So for example tirgal الملوث الجيرة لقوك كورورا آمات جيرة المومس ستتلك تيرا أسوغال تتلك تيرا قوك تي ملتملم درير or so يجي مو help بالجيد البلان راقوك تتلل services moving forward المو include a human resource وسيل سوق من قدومس a trend راك تلو سيقدم لا مسبير توكتان رامات إن الأجيرة من قوك كمدس ومو هاير توكتان مر راقوك specialist ترى الفيلد mang sel ada kal mere da mi gut makling la telal buil ending clock to telel mora kora long term planning ra ato kora guru
sulang alak mutal mesti tiram pura karir
malawil to tawe question ka mora minister udoy sel tal nombre kal tel budget la ra ka nganya language ringil el ruli a PPUC mendia kal hara or sel loan ra cash remove ringira kel bill payment question as it tiangarang mo impact ringira kuksel rating ringira ADB Michael kwa ureoral niya altang angara plan sa kami malalmay silta mengara ko ra solution to that problem mengara ako ra plan de lo se takada di oiti alo mengara ko ra alto atul maral if there is.
Thank you, Lei, for a very informed question. And yes, you are correct. Before the new year, we did have this challenge of not being able for PUC to pay the loans that they have taken, in particular for the Core I-Rise sewer project. And the national government was also prohibited from making a payment. And we are still actively engaged with the bank that we are a member of, which is the Asian Development Bank, and expecting further assistance from them, not just in the form of a loan, which we are currently waiting for signing, worth $25 million, but also any grant money. For instance, tomorrow I'm expected to sign a $5 million grant from government of Japan through the Asian Development Bank to help small businesses to install solar on their roof and to lower their utility bills. All of those were in jeopardy. Fortunately, we worked very hard over the holiday season. Both the Asian Development Bank high officials came to Palau. We worked together with them to develop an agreement signed by the President, the Asian Development Bank, and the PPUC, coming to an agreement on what needs to be done to finish this Kuro Irai sewer project, and what funding is needed, and that ADB had committed to support us, focusing on trying to find us more grant money to pay so we don't get further into debt. We were able to sign that agreement by the end of the year. President and the Asian Development Bank and PPUC signed that agreement. I will be forwarding a copy to Congress for their review. And that has allowed us now to pay the loan and avoid going into arrears for our loan payments. So we have cleared the first hurdle. Now we need to make sure that we do continue to protect our credit worthiness, not just to Asian Development Bank, but this applies to all countries. The major countries involved in the Asian Development Bank are the United States and Japan, two of our closest partners. So it also jeopardizes other relationships when we don't pay our debts. Thank you.
Sera dago gotrung obi seminaria audaso se dabora USDA ya askar tiraman the defaulter se loan gidra PNCC ela da peringi emro el forgiving gel secretary agricultura di luri dro se tila selmrelli inde galmut te alla te al gorkomim matemna recommend el mergi dro se agi by extend repayment, give you more favorable terms. And through that process, MNOSED eligible more than $35 million grant, and fiber optic both implementing it below, which FSM MNOSED eligible. Why? Because it's a default loan. So one of the things in Gira del Mo understanding is in close to Telela of Harabel set. Akmadino say Taram le concern other will be la. I said, well, tial loan el dingilul, tial suur el incomplete, kita am namasat el hararingi, tedek al fair le tia ADB am le involve ringi. Dingi kita am understand was ADB am le abang, tiga loan el kita udo. Kita am le implement a project. Tial project am le implement ringi ra 2015, am le giren momre ra 2018. I know Mr. Gasole am le part tial caspa. Mumare audit report am na tobdel, really audit public auditorial. Basically why is it was a tiatel maleth mungoram bring it kita kumula sing tider harap lan sil tel maleth. So sometimes we have to take responsibility, and you know it's hard for us to accept the say look so that I think as ADB I didn't understand was a incomplete project, we need to finish it e gider kay nga sir gut makli. So sel MOU basically takmurgid was will help you finish it. Please am harap siyo. Ilagi dam tayo la se ngariate alra additional loans el maral me amori olngil dekat sodol tomli se gidel te al mang important da da kaloro rom teatro el bil badala intent teatro el bil to protect the consumer, protect the other blue di ngidro mesar al ngel tel tol wase ay gal doru lo maral protect rida da long term impact rim makara. So unta sa siam le gol kita se do takta kay galudas come up with an agreement kadama ay sa other all bill and kadama forward ka per se man se der per se loan man kadama tamaliset. I think the second thing la dire gal gira del mo notary sel lar sa da pasani and dire gal mlo wal el stopper sel monthly service charge why say el dolaring a PUC sel $15. Before kami lahar ora 5 ela tumle totally tori geseni. Ongeru gadra se sel calculation gira repayment sel loan men top der sel imo gara sura mo na reduce. Gira dire mo understand sel impact sel mora PPUC. A impact sel mora PPUC am triga mo degal sil provide el service el gira demander tir. Le sel sum degal sil galacta ina fludo. Etam gara provider aran masur el gida ospertil provider mun gira el malmol ma do gira del try to find solutions la sem grad help para PUC mun sel malmol ma gel service ma gel la gida amrula oy so other protect the consumer and I understand their say gida al toy but global let's find ways to help per trigger os peanges إذا تيجي تصير قط البروبلم سيد البالاسي سير هذا اللي سام لا هيلب برا وطن لا هيلب برا أدر بيلار روغوي تسير كمل واي شيء دين ديرك الهيلب برا هوتيل لما شو باي الكمل واي شيء كم يوم ديرك الدقم بير تيال جيرو البيرين الكوسترا سور ديرك بقولون بير سير جيرو الكوسترا عران إنغورا ديرك make sense to me also magada invite ra investment ra se berbe lao mogadura hotel gao megin provide a subsidized ral mele gorgao gin provide a subsidized el sewer le gorgao tiga giri el mail contribute at least el partial cost ra a service el gida provide ni I think sigida gira del lol sisa clean mora adam sel doru la policy le lagade de blanket let's work together el trial el help gira de los peaños. And that's the same thing applies in more a PGST. A PGST exactly what we're doing now. One al blanket el gaber al beklad. Egdo uteludo del me prioritize help bring other bela los peaños. That's what Elway is doing with their tax refund. So, sula. Naso ko wala highlight sila. Important sa question rally.
Quick follow up on that. Sil bila kora malmlo last minute pasala madengel assembly madame kamlo sign ngi mangani akora ikal el tu ongul bangel all sil time ra sigitra sign off for sel
كذا of course all bila diul batti al bilmo last minute udru clean mem gadase gidi lora la yo sangang era continue la do mak amle first el ngaralet amle wase kame da solver tial issue gida ma ADB ma ula MO yom na umrek mela gida ukmo modo dora dor bil wase kame ukta solver tial situation a PUC wase let's find the solution for them el mral mong I understand their concern till get our rates ma buller adrablu don't say adrablu but let's help till other spe agesu ela gadi the blanket help you know reduce our background sure
maldi short follow up clarification director Elway sel kamne mention el wasing tirgel maybe clarify more other Lawrence tirgel 15,000 and below el tiramo malara tax refund also متدير donate for example like el tuition ng school deductible andara la mat mo deduct ay can deduct der seludo do bololaringi alubom di I mean you're going to give them back let's say ada mila 15,000 makapay ba kara telang 1
So
1.5
I think
you're going to be deducting I get already la tamla at I can apply el arak mendal
illegal تلغي ذي أو مثل وسخ المقلمة tuition ولا ظهروا نتخذوا أو مثل وسخ بيطلع مسؤول عشان دي على سعر المساحة 110% كرسل نمو ذي على refund نمو نمو لأن so a refund sell 15,000 other بيلاو المسؤول 15,000 مليون angwa han tiarro gil taxel belarani sel lagel kaya deliver tuition man profits age refund up to 10% of the tax sigdam le la so odem la lutirro gir mong ngara alsel
okay
there was before engel mil sugra 15,000 ataxel bel penia medal taltela let's use that as an example مثلا eligible refund ringira before 100 tala ela qadi unsal taltela المسان technically لما ده قبل submit yourself receipt قد مسان روغيل ده قبل
a question I said ticket madengela said the file again the filing is an issue so the file for tax refund ya deadline ngara January 31st was is time how is that
so sell tora non profit ma tuition say usual the deadline ngi 90 days after bol mrgara so do misring nga March January 31st the deadline are employers esel malungil mal msal msigal diri kan motakli employers ngi dil employer ablo belaw angar yangar alerala sel endradoria 30 sel 31st January engirel tul W2 alorul awan abil file ringi na Bureau of Revenue Tax ya imongan ngul sa employee lesel statement ta girel mura employee lo ase ti agida blak kharar karten nomre garak ay agida blak withhold magda basis segida withholding employer segida the refund ringi.
I think for now I can give this. Mas go to yung other questions. So,
malungil silsila ko ka presidente tikale nga babal adal ramlo labang retir malungil besrak le korka kuramal akmarin sisel omsodem maral kirela wa Christmas akirela tulungal kama family din ko sa besrak ay kuram ngri irkaw o sa mga takle mo pang kita besrak di ko rati later sem ere emro ko itigita kere presidente sil tukol dilo para bulurong esarat ba December 21 na mark klol sil po kumes klol del ngrengal Ernestina ato ni salam adri kakal dubor pe laura tingar kita sil mo ko diraat engul mo oiti eso sabi kamnong tanga ringel bu kang esaral mlarsei Milim ada orsel belai mereka sama ulum menglol report rasis mora bulis ramal kan gilbu kan lagi ada momsa awal deleng segilon dia kaldu temlol do cek rasis be mereka emti kara ada namdul meng umes sel affidavit rar bulis magilo msa ada black prince ar bulis marat rablu marat rasina ngarbelau en mublatak luasea tirgal adam lesbe edel arrested tira day one malo ben they to at least within 24 hours malo 48 hours I kill timeline se low ice I kill ngi ekume se arresta marul se rul sanderu riul tal silsa rauriur omi mung seldo mes ela mlaringa tiagi de press conference tiang acting director arbuli samane to ga kalotangai aktibo legere mo katak lo ase dia kalau tengai mo abul katak le presidente lo ase omredar bulis arrat se aul dimla lek madengel lo ase tegal okmo tegal bui gak mokl ngari skulir ngari ata training retir ngari experience retir omredar bla bulis sem nesbel omredar sol como mo yegel digam klamom dengel digam do muy meng tiagi da krik tial blia pulis mol el waisel el meredringa dibus ya tinga ngari ko tom lao ke ringinding ngari pira time president lo sel do mesa ikal del ngareng mo itegir to kom lado en la kire do mes lo ase la kire mo katmok tiang umredel ikal am dengel wa sai delis etuk mle arresta mle chasa teru el ada Malaysia silisana Malaysia ngarbelau in Malbertia president selo mesra Christmas mani wir belau nemring la adam nemadak teatura safety ma security mak ugergal waset nguangrat ya gid tur omreta bla polis ngal adang ram rigel
so gotru le sulangara garim of course details ra geisa yang arala la aging ma chunga ya somilo gel gel la yang la aging agadim sadra urior umra lo sea yes con yelo ngiro se teatra klol tal mal na dobra blu belo degal kol tal ngari klol tal mal ra blu belo pai tekin yelo bangem lo se trigam kita urel adra bla bolis mbay gire dal gotel amat tertir ma ar adra blur belal mlot ma يقول لا السيل ستري الأضاء السيمر السيمر اللي دال سيل توب ذلك قلت مقلع evidence ما رقول كذا من make sure كذا prepare ده ما سيمرتين كذا البيبرة تامن أوي سواد أمريض دين قال سواد أمريض مضامي من كذريق الغاية سوي كذا مع أدرى ميديا لجيس أصلا عندنا investigation كابير من عندنا investigation ilar bulis lo uror aksi ngakadi sige da observation na like of course kita maybe dimlak ngartiang di I'm still connected godoreng sa kamera YouTube arogul to sige da the only thing kita espera cooperation mang baby rat time I think most importantly congratulate tarbuig ramle ungil urerir and then yes a director is arriving what Thursday night or Friday night. Di tirigal mla acting director ako mula sa temriu rang wilurior. Uk pastriate alo sa temriu rang wilurior. Nakadidol tubertir. Ta blagaran din magikarela trying to show lo say dirigal sa pari raurior. So sulangan akarim
ma tida next elam halo ko ay sa president kaigil acting elanga mauglaure it was aditara imol kala mal mtinge ko mesan wisablu ad mam rigel of all the place sil dub aklol tol watiang ingil immediately met to har adro ngara especially a minister mama attorney general ba oitegil tol smodil murabuai tel tol delu sil salu de after dimna ka president akmadenge tikal police they do their job ding mal tal Sunday inga gol tob dan klelen kal adam lamat giulis agi gol ikal diakal sel tob kal adam lamat ma oitegi erul Sunday ita mangar tilo mesel dia surbe erul Sunday and file a charge kamu mamdas ringila se amal mring to ngaka dia bu ngaka mal almara bulis tiga amal mring loron tletar omredra ngidil organization business makalmet omredra clock to telel sa point nga kamak hindi ka hotel wa sa sem laming kal adam mga google wa se mangkalmeng mutam omredra bulis ngidil wa se lutel men di mo advisor mo
ngati director Malsumo me resign and didn't resign. So di halak pasate alla AG ma of course a vice president ng artia. Maldu se sel girel sel kumral wa setrigam net to dem saada to le gorgom. Immediately. O jendia. O na press conference ra era bes. Okay. Sula.
Nirmang ngire mal understand ro set kya clone case. Ara adra blia bulisa direct ngani angal sangasir raim maklaqadal sel dub awai tial clone case kida tial mlomalara a medical examiner rakwam mal kadum longal tangat matigingel meramre at time man sab edal identify ang kala of course our segi da kadi wase ntaang di until segi dal positive identification rule yang mo sab edal top drin marabul wase ngahmal taalat ma cause of death say gidral mengel medical examiner akwa mamlos el autopsy mun rulil to ko hindi tiap mal mering lurior biar buli sa inok kidam le rilara CCTV tiang ay ke mal potol ars CCTV kidal require adlomes mang dia kal sabe edel di tuobel di malwa dia kado dangel to ko ya gay gida gi mospe mo sa amel fara guys mo kautel no se emel morakor tengo kapira affidavit of probable cause ma charge and mal lob la tak wasi ngara di luba at least gay gida allegations sa kama magikuk tim ura kar ril molto daigel evidence el gi mo label support daigel charges el mortigal el atatila telol mala for el adra sina materul adra a Malaysia
Chinese.
Ay gel ngak la dia kuvngela se aktim dengela se tola baba sport del Malaysia ma asina. Emge grel adle tirga ngarinya 22, 23-year-olds, people in their 30s, 40s, ma 50s. Dia kalbeot luror ko asing beot hindi direct ko ngarinya ngal sangaset. Even ma analyze and dia ka a crime scene and dia kakla the level momru same kadol ngi ta help outside del may makmal dire kal amatra adra bla bulis mal mleung ilaw rerid Problem kater, tanti at least 3 laure, yor tirgagi dar adal galbus, takal sibil to leber tirang arbaba, 1 kil adrasina 1 million, tirgel tedel lulbangela 250,000, tirgel terul adra Malaysia 15,000. Melat nga kalbus al mengil al silsra 1 o'clock ang mornya a trial police setting conference tirgel tialguk murder in the second degree may hindering prosecution. Ya 23rd enguk osisul to koel mortirgel terul adra Malaysia for hindering prosecution. Of course ang nga ureol guk involved la manghitalgar. Ese dir ko marael di kal se ekal masader ngir el al time. Di se ekal mula se nga ureol gire la manghitalgar el direct involved tirgay gidal at. Tirgay gidal 6.
Tigida tra question la amreda rules sa dilulwa sa sel labora uriwa hearing ra sel kutel hearing la last week ndo sel labora ple bulis ti kamo kakayaklat ni kasi iltmak ti kagidal adas el al sils tatmak ngara imorum ya problema dia ka simple dia ka rumela question la nga wasi sel tiga sel da nga imul basyo de ko sik mi gom da experiences adasina sa bol kalbus tigel 200 alat sel boldak te kalmo nakastudi maway kaigide telgi momring te ka dire ngari atel biliri ke lorul temalmol mulwaisal temukagak te kalat
makahalaguger rakaw ko gira ngel mena ka oger rakaw kangila information rakaw sa tirgel adat makar reger lenga ka information mera nga makmal mla ko abla bulis se verify taka nga nakakaraw sa basyo abla bulis kita kama dengel wase tiage garel el jail hindi nga kamlong last week et dulo na kasi hindi ka tartil kakaraw nga nakakaraw sa basyo kakaraw sa cells. They have no access to each other.
Ngari asor sa ngam sa lo ay ka dikmat mo malbeto ka budengel ngara sa involved ti galad lo ay se hale dik bu ay se presidente mo kakaraw sa sosa adrasina megiril te del adapek ogadal gaigidam nekot ngari ongrum ongedei hindi tiagid me sal tobada segid the day before the after the tobada ma news et losto of course tiga direct tiga security bla ring la dosig mo to atang mata tiga dir mengkel employer ngel boy temring la ding mala ka admito sing mering la handle away ka gidel case.
Mr. Ludong, makautil nga niya additional information al-molap milo ko kol rabli abuli sing amal sa elmongo sutrira investigation tegid al-gays ng kagid Attorney General was mal complex complicated yung kanyal mutal additional tool Malaysian sel ko kuramla implicated baka kalel sa edal kay ni se we see the public al dolngit adrablu nga information lolap that would lead to the arrest the malubeng additional information was el mo sugi der tial gays mo malolita nga sir ka okay
dia ko sa ringel ulmos el adring yasar nga kamal dolin tro sa di bom mo ingi dalat sir nga information mo lab e please em shela mo gela bla police ma vice president ma AG letia gida disuadal klagara bload el safe ka malungil investigator mo dos pero
presidente nakalo mo sa malam at course sa summer house ra aywal
halidik edal mugdel okay mel ginong direct inkal one tirgal adal involved ako ngaring ya involvement ring iragay sa asaibal wanted asaibal direct possibly ngaring ya agay sa federal case ilgidel manggira dal kayo sa rogul liga rogul provide the information al merka ma'am asa amal gukmay pasan mortigal counterparts ra ma'am nga rangod al balloons misi agay certi
hal medic ko get yang tukar adal me oger nga kem sa ngi mong dawdak sen klama ngey gidel adal nara saibal ngeng maral nara yatel me so is baltim naka dim naka tira immigration
alat
Feya, gay gidi.
Hindi ka record del Black West lo oti seguida di record del Black West sing mla raskogil me so isperbelaw. Isegi dam lekot tal tamel bel tur belaw.
Kita kuk presidente elak duk mo suap lukmitte de kuk mortir kan. Elway ka direktor ko ulo ay selo aseng ngarat 2 million. Ay kiludo dan mo return. Lamang tirgel 15,000 na dudil medio tirgel ko tangari ul ada belaw. Ay kang tax el mungara tial mo tarak. Elak mi mo return. Bulwa siya kilon dia kam ngaigel el tax en ngara ketrar ada belaw. Mai kau dudir bom bramo spel tarak mo return. Question as ngaria interest ngi alo ben kom di spel du dia ada return dia interest ngi.
Ya malungil question tingil mangam sulang أو إلى لول مرة قرّق إن ديم لو قلنا قد adjust their salary rate المو سلمنا 12 مملو 10% ملانيات الجيبل إن دي تلقى ما يسي قدام تبلو أسي تبلو قدام ناسو أبلا سين قال 15,000 التمن 15 يوم بونوس رأين ده جي affect را eligibility را ما كوك أب تجد الapproach أسي قدام مال ممرة make sure أسي تريجل مال ميلين غير 15,000 مليون إن دي قدام مرة أسي كده مدنجل واسي leadership واسي كده دول ميتيار كلول comprehensive reform او مسايجل تسيد improve متلا دي قال تسيد القوك ممرق او مسل واسي ملونيل دونغول مسانرا every لاغدو لارنجل every 2 weeks اور كده مو refunding ان دراير lump sum دين قدري قال قوم مسا risk واسي را risk مورنيا مو تو دغاريات مو مسولم
دي بوضع بلغتق مستر أولودون تسيرا بوضع دغوريت المرال السيلز 1994 المرال السيلز أي جايد التقص البيرات أي جايد البي تال سالاري التقص أي جايد البي so this is the first time الجيدا دي الموت الملتين مستري روجر so كغورا ما ده it's not a new tax this has always been there. We are now taking kadunga te ala lungun mastrir. El lultui rase ngari ogor garingir. Mengira dano mesen tela garingir. Mendekal sia del di ulara raga da determine sen tela garingir. Momre gatarak, momre garingir egun mastrir. So sulang.
The follow-up question, that question, question again, the issue at 15,000. Ngari ako raw das well proposal ngar all bill sorry el increase el sell 15 el more about. Although mesa inflation mal clo mang sell value ra 15,000, I'm sure am lamo different lang besera algot lum das well gidel tella. Ma question na siya sel kamlame sa get proposal nga rasel 4 threshold mo misingil so as I guess it's up to policy makers and and decide telang ato the kel babel do misanga 16,000 kora kaso sorry lo misa 16,000 se do misingil feasible in terms of saying $1 in se enough alo ba ko malasa raigel ko maringil ako the swim will say if there is ma minister.
Thank you, Lei, and your question I think has multiple issues related to it. Maybe just to introduce that when we first proposed the reform, we were not talking about 15,000 earnings or salaries and wages in a year. We were talking about 12,000. So we were thinking about a much lower rate. And when we were working with Congress, they said, let's increase that amount. And we agreed. At the time, we didn't see inflation as high as it was. And of course, the inflation, the costs are related to fuel, related to the conflict with Russia and Ukraine. These are things that move up and down. When we set the policy, we want to make sure that we don't set it too high or help too broadly because it's a small country. We cannot afford too much. So we want to make sure that we are helping as many people as we can who need the help. I think we need to look at these assistance in relation to how much we can afford to pay. And that's something that we have to calculate. So I think that's something that we, the leaders, have to consider as a policy. Once we set it, then we have to be able to live with it.
From recollection, sel 15 dinigal nga basis ringira ahaiso. Selmle household income and expenditure survey mirura 10 years ago. In the self number survey, amle household income. In the kita sab edalwasi kita natal givel nga ngulmerbab link based individual income. Mang superior tool arte rule earner 15,000 nga sisil household ikada refund daigel taksil.
Presidente,
I think malungila question gale and that's why kada godolungi tra time. Kasi kami da subi domes rose martela kagariet and make sure that help particular kotros pe angesu. And that includes the tigagil el adlo. But diri ka tokal bangalet. Domes ringing SS al langaringi ma pension this has to be comprehensive because the message trial balance and make sure that the meet the needs PUC the list goes on. So sulang around will get and that's exactly what we need to do.
Exception, no exception.
Yeah.
Presidente, kayo maulubong ang karik. Akadam la urara kara 2024 presidente mang kadam ngulela sa last year ragar office kaduk osmeriti al 11th government republic ma alblada urara ke kadangar sa last year term raga ngani ako rabal dakkel aureor mo ramla kutmok wase ka gidara rakrigit ti gidal kuk term raga ke yakutmok re arrak sa MCR sula Gumra lo say last 3 years. Egadam min nga darodor. Elagadam mal dingara implementation. Kada of course en ngani ser klol gidam gatatal msadri ase tara got close to trella minimum wage. We need to get it passed. Kada it's still late, way late, but at least dorol gidal. There's still more legislation that we need to deal with and whether it's corporate registry, aircraft registry, let's finish those I said that the Sheriff Minister, I think one of the things, if you look at the report financing, last year, shipping registry, I'm 2 million. Digital residency, I'm 1.4 million. So, programs that we have, we need to enhance them. Additional services, etc. provide more shipping registry, corporate registry, digital residence, because these are create at the uklemutel mlisi irtial eganamir gid of course atodonglia close to trela mlisi eganamin dingan egel mudirgam close to trela dorul girela apelwath one relocation askura malgayo. That's an ongoing project that close to trela atagat makli relocation or hospital ay ongoing projects al gida amalasa man mga tmok direk ngania aurere de lo mangela Saudi Development Fund el malara alone el help pergida mang 15 million el help pergida to housing ongoing projects and hopefully this year in Seattle lotrokle uka asset besides the rest of the activities and gida mga tmok rabek kalsil sil malisira to school ma
alara hospital mesem toka igel gira der mat mokl gira preparation gira gira games. But clo renovation and morina school hospital that we've already begun alara mang mar to already they got stop mang sulang ra karim of course I get the require gira the lora mgila olbira kolulak na se last year Mr. Udong man bring la pasala
Oh, sí.
ora di adim lulu donita se ga and the question was we need to uk tel agel uk ngari lurior chumaria adjustment el gira make wa agel proposal mgrad lut el help rad I think those are gira lurior el arra qadam dangali sel regle la dana ok wara ngarai gel opportunities el sadan bru el help percent la dana ok whether the retirees the other lurior especially the automated. So,
Maldi very quick questions, President akti throw out there era misa time. Awan President ngarcel report tra IMF ng ma direct tinggal kalwida ADB ta setel including ra PNCC ma PPUC mo alsela tal special tax reform mo PGST opera tax direct na contribute to mara inflation ra problema ngaring yaw daswal ngar olbil qadir kolum tabet angil wasi ta possibly sorry lol tobdra PNCC ma PPUC tome salas tal communication ra PPUC mora olbil ito asen to koram la mare apa bilingir so faring dakal salmal impacted tiren dingan impactan mora customers tel coastal continue lipas in on PNCC asen ngarian impactan ngi particularly gel grant tiramlay el angamo ngari impactan ngi ndim lakal calculator PGST mora gel grant mangara kora utaswemel gel say ang erong sel domesa igale election ablo amerikel mag-campaign ng malhat o kora atal bigay ko sa domesa igale campaign going on there and the question as ngara impactor sel mora tel agreement tergida ilang ngaringi se rider budget ablo amerikel so maybe adil semel update tergida gidel say last kumesa domesa igel babinir adra pension mara olbil ngam la mara point malwa mal desperate mang again ngara gora ul deswemel gidel say gidel issue le face nga pension wal ko mal eminent ngani gora ul daswe like you said telimel menil al basala apas elarak ningara gora o me sangal seb el gora helper ngegel reform la propose ngara telle la igel mus el motoy say gida ditterian denam
Yaman believe the Rula Minister of Finance, what the alum sub Minister of Finance
Thank you, Lei, for always giving me good questions. First, with regards to PGST, I mean, make a point that, there's an assumption that when people talk that we're collecting too much. And we don't have sufficient funds to fund our operations or the things that we want, like reforming the pension or the Social Security program. So I think that's something that we're trying to address. With the reform, we are collecting taxes more efficiently. So we are seeing an increase. Some of it is planned increase in collections for PGST, and some of it is closing the hole that we told the Congress that exists in our previous tax system that we've been using since the Trust Territory administration. So we have lost so much money, and that's what we were trying to address, and I think you can see that we have addressed that. And that, I think, is important for people to understand with regards to the PGST. The other one is that we have shifted in the reform the burden to the people who are really consuming in the Republic, which are basically the tourism industry, meaning they have not really been paying their fair share of taxes. And the burden has been on the Palauan people. We have shifted that and corrected that to be more balanced in terms of who pays taxes here. I mean, when we talk about making changes to the tax system that we have created, we have to be careful not to unbalance the burden of taxes on people. For instance, food, a lot of the food consumed is consumed from the tourism industry. So if we give any tax breaks, that we are giving it to those people and giving them a tax break to come to Palau, when we are trying to get money out of them by having them visit our country. And those monies that we are getting from them are paying for public services, public safety, hospital services, and utility like sewer. So these are things that I think people need to keep in mind. Those taxes that we pay through PGST are really taxes on consumers, not taxes on the entity. So I think people have a misconception that when you pay taxes, PGST for utilities like PPUC, PGST, those are really taxes that you're paying that were already being paid before. A lot of the taxes that we are getting from PGST are related to fuel, and fuel is the biggest expense for the PPUC. So it's something that I think people need to keep in mind when they talk about PGST, and we have to discuss with Congress so they understand when they're proposing a change, what the true impact will be, not just on pricing, but on the overall tax collections for
And
the
if I can,
government.
Minister, let me just add on example of PNCC. PNCC uspera term lo sa lang nimlakal budget ringira grant, so therefore impact a grant. The way the PGST system works, sales huma contractor or a PNCC is contracting a service. Sale grant tablel penia blue rambrigel, for example, 35 million. Celurior al turbelau in 3.5 million tax el peni celurior. I say, the PNCC will get credit for that 3.5 million for the following years. Among the pass it on and more customer, they will get it back. I think in lack of understanding of tira system. If anything, it by help freedom al sumaria granting tribe club of the erbelau. Ngirin mo do peril mo understand how does it benefit them? Mablur bela most important sel lo minister ay kamring ta mars. Ngaram ka the reducer say maradra the blue will pay less. Ngaram our tourists should pay less. Why? Al ngani extra ludo that will help para pension, that will help para SS, that will help para other bela los peangas. So let's help rather all be more understand the second side. And I think the mal focus or telama takmana say Senator Basilius amla toksyor Moses mal swaldi get rid of rogul toy. But we need to understand so what do we use tax money to take care of? How does it circulate so it takes time for everybody to understand. Continue.
Thank you, Mr. President. And to add to your point about the grants, normally when the Republic gets grants, taxes are included. They're considered Palau's contribution to the project. So grants are considered, but what we have done with PGST is make it upfront. So you can see the total cost that Palau is investing in for the project. Before you did not see the contribution from Palau. Now with PGST, you see Palau's contribution to the project. So Palau was giving up something to get the grant. Now we are showing what we are giving up, which is more transparent and I think a better policy when it comes to tax and also to spending money. The next one you asked was about the COFA. We expect that there is already been discussions in the U.S. Congress about our bill that's before both houses for review. We expect that the Senate will be meeting next week, and hopefully we can get that discussion resolved. Of course, most of our challenge with the Compact of Free Association review agreements for all three countries, RMI, FSM, and Palau, are tied up with challenges with the U.S. Congress. So once they resolve some of the other issues, like offsets to try to keep U.S. deficit down, as well as how to help the Ukraine and Israel with the challenges that they're facing with the conflicts in those two countries. Those are sort of in the way of our agreements being passed, but there is very strong support by the U.S. government, both the executive branch and Congress, to have these agreements passed as soon as possible, and they understand the challenges that we're facing. All of us are still struggling to recover our economy. We're not out of the woods yet. So while we're talking about things as if we're back to business as usual, we're not in that place, and we are also working on trying to find other resources to bring us back, assuming that that's possible within the next 2 years. For the pension plan, one of the bills that we hope to introduce this year is the pension plan reform. We've had a workshop with the community representatives to design how the new pension system will look, and we need to act quickly because the longer it takes, the more we lose. So we do want to fix that for the future, not just for the people who are pensioners, but those people who we want to stay in Palau and work and continue to work and contribute so they can also have benefits when they retire. We also have a similar reform we did with the Social Security that is sitting with our OEK, and we're hoping that they will act on that. Not only does it fix the problem of we're paying out more than we collect, and of course part of this problem is we have a lot of older people and less people, younger people in our population. So this problem is only going to get worse as it goes along. So we have fixed that, proposed a solution for the Social Security program, and that also gives better benefits and more fairness in the system going forward, one that will self-adjust so we don't have to give more appropriations to Social Security people. And the system will adjust based on what we call wage inflation. As wages go up, people will get more money in the pension system. So I think these are the solutions that we do really want to push this year because these people need it for their retirement. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
This year, Simle Mera 2022, the proposal sell address to SS. تقدر المدير المريلا through funding through ADB تترقد سنتان تلمين ولا ميتين كذا رولي على المنت مغل رولي مولو درسين مرة بيقولهم تقدر المدير يقدوك مرة بنشون تقدر نام رغوريلا المو مدارس المو قدر يقولون أنت هذا ربي لا سو we have to look at things comprehensively but غير دلوا مغاس and we know change is hard but the most important le adi segal duli SS ma pension diriga tam matro ba igelu do morarat en commitment trigida make sure and kan matro ayella the proposal trial was especially SS ase magarang el bonia process el dogiungi era del suga SS el lagado politics ringi bol base ra wage inflation se oral tel dol mran merbab marado mala SS melo mungil mran merbab ela ngaramo ko di ngara feeling mong mutemela senkyo adi bul katak mutemela senkyo mong tigar retire sama betok hadam strau do oje this is ending el bankrupt so the bankrupt system we need to stop making policies based on the feeling rigid kada base ra fact the long term الجيره لان الجيده اقول سيرك انا تخشل ما قاسي دي problem rigid دي مرورا ودير انا الجيده because that's what we do sometimes kada continue the kada bere la kada address ring lang bere mauriu di sel bere mauriu la amin sel wasi kada malas ring lang era algeta mo mangkatari
kada mo la
so kada kay ngasew and it's all of our responsibility mang partrang da help public mo understand make sure ay gan ngani ada kal matrop if anything will expand.
So the president ng aulbong le kita para klol rubar ka mangartie ale am lamom or adle raklang re tiya ay soim seldroba ke tore dra al de se podak bolsang re adan me meserkite asendia ka si apal soy la mama brand name mang kamal saule ak madagi na mitra time di tiang amal close to the president ko first try ire kumisar ka kamla sen mom op ay kal luror era rak glason mol ngwa ay ser pol merek tiang elskum ngwa ay kumisar ka mo ngira sen kyo mali kamal mo tautal alto ko mol ko mol ko presidente hal kal arireng sa sak mlek trader kami may amtang kakadi alis dak ang kita minister at justice ng artiang ako muna suweng justice ang ilua F ya hospital ang ilua di may ang ilua B plus hindi tial mlodak trader ang kalma minister ikalam no de kutinga ikalu relm amo upok redring era ko sem wa f lang apto kalurun kal minister public work mai kang ndi daklo aisem ndi president akmal ndi mlak lo kantang yul mesra mudor tarak sigirat 2023 ngani ate lewe minister kafal redeem yourself al tarak amde ma attorney general ma minister Minister Education ang ilua AB plus mong larong uli ma minister ngangara culture ma adire kal ilua abira tourism B plus dire kal mal ungin mara lauror finance ma dire kal ilua palngarpa palngarabi pio waisel waseng akik mal meluy rekamim ko mal mo rikik lal senkyo len sebe the next year the May and the sekmiu malolingit ete agida onti ke president tokora transparency ma openness kam hal open sila me kumis dimo ma toy ma diak ma kam dire dik mo ngugil oy kumis ka ma kre bela dire dimo to kaya kal di surprise di sel mala information na minister of justice amal mo de lek mal dingi ma do laun ngela mal mring to tiagi del kaisra abla pulis malo otira kal 2 weeks ak malo ngit kemit sel onti nga wase el albesra di moto kal information dia kal mentri kita kokla da blu di moto it's okay eli minister environment ma fisheries ma ikang mal rile agimle tour facility ng esar nga maktire kam na kasabe kalsisi dia ko manom asarung ora ko mesel brede laureur may kinam katmok maneking lowais mera ada media ako mesel ngi abo mere garak la aswal ngwa may plus din malsay kita maklo to trail makmalolingi tra minister public or may kang mal to kaurerir ako mesel dia ka mal masang dia kelelpurnya amngil kurapi ay ora kablement te aikal back minister at least ngara regular basis at all to the information
Mr. Uludong arong kaya ka Minister of Justice ako amal diri ka ko onti mal diri ka respond dal morning also kung ang kada remember ka logger nga kagera also if you did actually say refer ka mo acting director Gabriel malumang attorney general girel tel toera tel recent case involving tel kodal mases para ewal hindi malso ka provide information mo ka hindi ko na dira mo o si iselo ko ni attorney general was isel ko pending investigation emplo dahil saan man si edel disclose sa information mang el mo nga kautel mo crader nga kan el ramakmal mo labay mo nga special one-on-one na Ministry of Justice makara every week kung si Emel Ome ko gere
personally ka mal transparent
sulang
hindi tiyan aramlen
tikal
Alex Maria presidente was ka andre mul was ka hotel mlatut kam redar bulis kam diga semen ma Attorney General men direct men kami communicate ka komisil ka kal hotel mo hindi kama president ano one on one kami ama
Bang sel Efraim o cheng sel taribo kayo.
Okay, sula president.
Sulang sensei kakmera sensei sel partra ngaralira olsis akla. Oy, olsis akla grade. Sel grade ngir ngaria criteria mgdom sa test ma homework ma batol sometimes ega tiaw qadim lewan al homework al talman le kada wa f usually tial grade egal calculation ega rogo maqadi olitro ase ورامل ممكن تروح اف ماينس يعني اف ماينس او ترى جريد اللي جاي بيسالك هذا برا جي بي عندي غسيل كالكوليتري شو لا انا اسال لول سولا ميديال الكريتيكال جيد hold us accountable I think what's important is a government تكير accountable مقبرين اسولي وسيجد الاوك نرى ليو hold us accountable so
como sulang presidente visto ludong ang luspera first person pronoun luspera si agi esa presidente para media canción so de puro disclaimer lo hace se de report card para media canción bo
da triya to el sensei me uksi ukti mora class Okay, mada chung waiseng gomaran musulang the continue the mo sign first of all proclamation al rak etia presidential proclamation number 24/360 etiang amo declare amandra February is anti-human trafficking awareness month mak ngote alem sa vice president mongoramos modi mo saingin
Malmasala, Mr. President, nguk maasel teme del gire de report sele United States Trafficking in Report mel angad mo mesagel urere la government el gukomu orsera April 2023 el mera March 31 2024 gire de report etial report wa sengrang riru la government el gire la reduce, prevent human trafficking, provide protection al morar victims, gilel prosecution. Mang andi ko ta ko islo say kita kami amdenge adam la tier 2 watch list ela nga tier 2 yak malumarang alwaseng la asabe edel mora tier 1. Aldumang club el gire del improve our ranking ergid US State Department se lome sa igal ranking ergid ang sabi ligay sumado nga web tel moratir trill siya ako tel ngaryo ang mauuleng wayal kora tomalisel kukte eledra arwa o malalo nang sabi irel wayal based on that ang mga dool moragel international organizations so hese tiraka adabela kora makita ranking ertir tegi del TIP report mga niya sanctions al wayal all against tergid mang ada mo mga mokla rerel tiagi dial logi wa anti-human trafficking working group mang malmasala Mr. Kasole lang lera Eli lemlaria sa asaying ra updated amended National Action Plan ra anti-human trafficking ra valor belaw madire kal ngaringi standard operating procedures below the sign ra amended one tiagirel identification ra victims of trafficking my potential victims ling biko sa president as you know am le sign or sel LBS amendments al moral ra human trafficking ra sora ra last year so sera April 20 I think it was in 23 in 2023 ang le sign mo se mal close improvement while bol tengar kita mo ngil Mamlegire del chensa aigel mle SOP rigid ma National Action Plan lultoy rigel es amendments mle signed into law last year sel RPPL 11-28. Mangtegi the declaration by the Mr. President el angalwa sa February ya mo malamol maigegi the activities sa Maurior will bring awareness el mortial to human trafficking alwa say tia modern day slavery tia nga makita lomrul di kat sabi del tolerate ng violation of human rights and it's a crime mangagigi digel awareness el del momrul month of February tiyak mamsal Attorney General ang kaya ko kung ngara legal prosecution al rigel gay sa langar sa anti-human trafficking unit del ngara Division of Transnational Crime Bureau of Public Safety. Bakti nga sulir tirgel other sige del anti-human trafficking working group ang losay na igigid National Action Plan ma sila SOP mga nga kawak chair sige del working group Minister Ngiraybalas Matula ko chair Minister State, Minister Aitaro, a member of group, Minister Urbalao, Minister of Health and Human Services, Acting Director Lieutenant John Gabriel, Attorney General Ernestine Ringil, Director Customs and Border Protection, Director Tarkong, Director National Security Jennifer Anson. Masegi diabol sa niya President ang musabi del malmol government del marula activities all the way through March 31st, 2024. Bolsi edel submit report del Morbelao submit report to Miguel US State Department was Belao prioritize sa del efforts detect, investigate, prosecute and convict human traffickers the moral educate and bring awareness and mortirigel other belao especially gital tolos pera atra pangkalates mara atra hoiriping gital mo kora wayat karkik can make sure in adongil treat their according to the contracts that they signed. May gagigil uriol bodong at mokrel almando malmisale Mr. President mo si Emil signer sa proclamation or al sales gire laurio February.
Okay. Maduri buksay?
Yes.
Oh.
I stand behind you. Minister. Totoo lang minister o Erbalan.
For example, malang alak la time hindi melakada hindi kasi dem rala alakada sauda igelu tukubet sil tir elal chils. Mati kuma te alek congratulate tireng burder tir elal chils Earl Emiliano gangarsel obisra public defender vice president ma teori nobu gangara Ministry of Education gangarsel curriculum and instruction Carmelisa Castillo gangara food service program ra Ministry of Education ma Iterwir France gangara MOJ ngara Maritime Security ma Bernice Sidoy gangara Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries gangara Bureau of Agriculture shout out to her hopefully ngoreng gangara Doha that time ngarsela horticulture expo ise minister
since October 6 months malngal ren esa
malwaise the mongalitial press conference ri then dik mal din mutum nga sula radara amidian holding us accountable amram sulang tmarung de lo amura pe sarage masaka Mr. Moses lo mangyadal kamablo alme mo mo yotra ka crate sel dim dibu sam crate ang kwata kal saluna sel oblo alme crate
Absenta sense crate.
hindi kita mal nga suliw adios el olmol melong tanga terbek la adre belau ma balwadra blue belau kamran misulang ma 2 weeks from now
Sulang.